My greatest fear is losing our house.
He could just say, I've had enough of this crap. I'm out of here.
You're saving nothing.
Zippo. I just make sure I keep working.
When do you stop being so focused on what Karyn wants?
When Gail laid out all of the spending, I was floored.
Please, God, somebody help me here.
Money, 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 money.
My name is Karyn. I'm 42. I'm a caterer.
My name is Mark. I'm 42. I am a machinist.
And we have 3 great kids.
Our old house, it was just getting too small for our family. And we come across this fixer-upper.
We've done the main kitchen upstairs. We've redone the hardwood, new slate flooring. We've done painting through the whole house.
Our biggest problem with all the projects around the house is we don't tackle one area and get it done.
Mark just doesn't have the time to do it.
I work approximately 55 hours a week and I just don't want to do it.
7 days a week, he's at work. We really live on the overtime. I think Mark would absolutely love to put his feet up and not be asked to do something around the house. Since I started the catering business, I'm actually in the hole. The biggest thing, of course, is my catering kitchen. That was $40,000. We decided to put it on our mortgage because I was scared on how I would pay that.
Our debt is getting bigger and bigger all the time.
I really wanted to add to our income with my catering so that he doesn't have to work 16 hours a day.
I don't think she's doing as much as she could be doing.
As a housewife, there are times when I get sidetracked and not focusing on one thing that needs to be done, like my catering.
Me personally, I don't spend any money on myself. I just make sure I keep working.
He has no interest of doing the finances. I hate doing it. I hate doing it for the house. I hate doing it for my business.
There's a lot of frustration in our family because in the middle of all this is the kids.
Money and fighting with us are kind of like cream and sugar in a coffee. It just goes together. And now that the kids are getting older, they get worried too.
My greatest fear is losing our house, really.
Or he could just say, you know what, I've had enough of this crap. I'm out of here. And you know what? I can't say that I blame him.
This month, I'll help this couple protect their #1 asset, their home. I've been solving money problems for over 20 years, tackling everything from high finance to low income. I help people understand money and debt and how to balance it all while keeping a roof over their heads. Karen's so busy upgrading the house, she doesn't have time to make money. Meanwhile, Mark feels he can't do anything to fix the problem but work. Their recipe for success is missing a few key ingredients. A house under constant construction. We're going to renovate the money now. Hi, Gail Vaz-Oxlade.
Hi, I'm Karyn.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Mark.
Nice to meet you, Mark. The first thing I'd like to do, if you don't mind, is just drop my bag and have a quick look around.
Absolutely, come on in.
Terrific. Nice house. How long have you been here?
Almost 4 years.
Pretty traditional. You redid these floors, and you redid the floors in the front hall.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Did you have the money to pay for that?
No.
Lots of light.
Yeah.
Mostly because you store your blinds behind the furniture. 4 years ago, you redid this kitchen, and it's been unpainted, light switched for how long?
That just a couple months.
A couple months.
Couple months.
Ooh, is that a new washer and dryer?
Yes.
Yep.
Have you paid for that yet?
No.
How come these aren't finished?
Well, I was gonna order more carpet for them, but
Ran out of
that's
money?
the money. Well, right now I can't use my credit cards because the little machine says you can't use it.
So this is the $40,000 kitchen. Problem is, this kitchen isn't coming close to paying for itself. You're smiling your ass off, and he's sitting there stone-faced.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that pretty
would
well
explain
sum
that.
up your relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah? So you decided you were going to build a catering kitchen in the basement. How much money do you earn?
In the last couple months, maybe 500, 600, if that. I would spend maybe 20 hours between cooking and generating business, and that's not very much, is it?
And you have the nerve, when he comes home tired, you want him to do a man job? But I walk around this house and everything is not finished.
That's right.
Because the house is the microcosm of your marriage and your financial issues. We can fix this if you're ready. It's all in this house. And we're going to use this house to demonstrate how to fix it. Okay? Okay, good. So the first thing I'm going to show you is where the money's been going. This is 1 month's worth of spending.
Wow.
In this month, you spent $1,455 on groceries. Your family must eat really well.
Really? Wow. That's 1 month.
1 month.
That's a lot of money.
Plus, you spent $125 on restaurants. But that $125 is nothing compared to what you usually average, because you usually average every month $430 in restaurants. So on average, you spend between $1,700 and $1,800 a month on food.
Holy crap.
A lot of it is going out to dinner, which is kind of funny because she's a caterer, but maybe that's why we go out a lot, because she doesn't feel like cooking.
Look at what you're spending on life. 82% of your income on life. This is 3 times what it should be. That's her getting whatever she wants whenever she wants it.
I love buying things for the house. So that's my biggest guilt little thing. And it's not too little.
You're saving nothing. In fact, if anything, this is putting the kids' security at risk.
Yeah.
Do you have a penny saved for any of them to go to post-secondary education? No. But you have nice floors. Now let's look at the debt. The thing I found so interesting about the debt list that you made up is that you never bothered to add it up.
I don't think I wanted to see the whole total.
Well, I added it up for you. $34,682. Wait a minute. That doesn't include your overdraft protection. So now you're up to $38,910. Wait a minute. You know what's not included in this? The $80,000 you consolidated to the house. 4 years ago, when these guys bought this house, they had a $160,000 mortgage. That mortgage has ballooned to $240,000, more than they paid for the house in the first place. In essence, you have the equivalent of $120,000 of I want it, I'm gonna have it now.
It just made me shudder, honestly. I didn't realize that putting something onto my mortgage, that is still consumer debt.
Where's that big old grin of yours?
Yeah, it's not quite as big.
You're overspending by $5,645 every month. And if you keep it up in 5 years, you'll owe $734,000. What's this house worth?
Not that much.
Not that much.
When I saw that number, I'm just thinking to myself, please God, somebody help me here.
How serious are you about taking care of this problem?
Very serious.
I'm ready.
Okay, so over the next few weeks, I'm going to give you a series of challenges to do. You do the challenges to my satisfaction, and I'll give you up to $5,000 to help you take care of this debt repayment problem. You don't do the challenges, you don't get the money. This month, we're going to get you to stop spending money on this house and finish the things that you've already started. We are going to even out the responsibility in terms of the workload, so everybody's picking up his or her fair share. And we're going to start focusing on building equity in this house as opposed to building the debt, which is what you've been doing up until now. Because the last thing you want to do is end up losing all of this. Coming up, a taste of reality.
We have no money for the house.
I know,
if
we've lived like that for 20 years.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Stay-at-home mom Karen decided to build a catering kitchen in her basement and use the equity in their house to finance it.
Since I started the catering business, I'm actually in the hole.
But instead of gaining income, they've racked up debt and put the house at risk. $80,000 consolidated to the house, turning husband Mark into a stay-at-work dad.
I just make sure I keep working.
We really live on the overtime.
And you have the nerve to get up in his face when you want him to do a man job? To keep this roof over their heads, Karen has to make more bread. And they both have to follow my rules. For the next month, these homeowners will learn to live on a strict cash budget. No more credit cards. They'll complete weekly challenges to tackle their money and relationship issues. And if they're willing to change, I'll reward them with thousands of dollars to pay down their debt. No changes, no money. Did you bring your credit cards?
We did.
Hand them over. Okay, they're gone because you're going to learn to live on cash, but you're going to learn to live on less cash, 70% less.
Yes. I was going to say 80, but
He is so happy.
I am.
You're going to go from spending $4,600 a month on your variable expenses to $14.
Okay.
You will have $150 a week for food, which is about a third of the $1,800 you were spending. $93 a week for transportation, $25 a week for entertainment. You never go anywhere anyway.
No, that's good.
My favorite jar.
That's a big fat zero for clothing.
And $80 a week for other. If you're gonna live on cash, you have to write it down. So here's the handy dandy budget binder. This is a record-keeping system that anybody can use, paper and pen.
I was very excited about the jars. My mom and dad never had a credit card in their life, and they've always lived with cash. So, I mean, if they can do it, I don't see why anybody else can't.
You have to have a plan. That means you have to make a debt repayment plan. It means you have to make a balanced budget. And if you can't balance the budget on the income you currently have, Mark, you do not do another minute's worth of overtime. You, my love, will have to make up the difference. The first step is to come up with a debt repayment amount that will clear their consumer debt in 3 years or less.
We should be paying at least $600 a month.
To help them visualize their situation, I had Karyn bake cookies to represent their income. Now they'll divvy them up between the household budget categories.
We've got $5,000 monthly income. Purple, those are the hundreds. The green are the 20s.
20s.
And the pink are the 50s.
Okay.
So let's start off with the mortgage. $1,260 and change. Groceries and personal care. Our hydro bill, our gas bill. $98.19 for cable.
Ridiculous.
After covering the basics, they quickly ran out of money, leaving some glaring holes in their budget.
Right now, I'm worried because we have no emergency fund.
Well, I know, Mark. I
Like
know.
if
We've lived like that for 20 years.
Well, if I get into an accident or
I know,
something
we're
happens to me
screwed.
at work, we're
I know.
toast.
How about that big one?
What, debt?
Debt
We haven't even
repayment.
started that. It was actually quite fun at the beginning, but then when the cookies start dwindling, then reality set in. We have absolutely no money allocated for the house. We have to put money in
We
there.
got it. So our total shortfall is $1,115. I'm now realizing what damage has been done, and I can step up and do this and take control.
So you got about halfway through making that budget, and you ran out of cookies.
Yes, we did.
So we wiped that grin off her face. Yeah.
Yes.
That sort of everything will be okay smile, where did it go?
It went into reality. I can do so many things to just cover up and pretend. It's okay for it not to be fine.
I feel much happier knowing that we have a goal to achieve.
Okay. To meet their goal of becoming debt-free, they need to make more money right now. While Karyn's looking for new catering clients, she also got part-time work. You're doing cleaning work for $340 a month, working at
Mark's work.
Mark's workplace on top of the business income.
On top of the catering, yes.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do for next challenge. As a team, I want you to figure out what needs to be done in the house. After you have done that, you need to actually do something. Mark, you may not lift up a hammer. It is time you start pulling your own weight in terms of the maintenance of your home. Coming up, Karyn gains a fresh perspective.
It's not a boy's job.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Karyn and Mark have been erasing their home equity by consolidating consumer debt to their mortgage.
We've sunk into the house money that we really weren't prepared for.
And they find themselves $40,000 in the hole again. In essence, you have the equivalent of $120,000 of I don't give a rat's butt where this is getting me. Constant upgrading, painting, and decorating around the house drain their bank accounts. This is what you've spent on the house in the last 4 years, $56,000. But you're not getting any closer to having a finished house.
We don't tackle one area and get it done.
For accomplishing all my challenges, they could earn up to $5,000 to help pay down their debt. This week, they need to figure out what still needs to be done to the house and cost it out.
$10 for weather stripping, less than 20 for the paint.
Doorknob, $20.
So how much for the light switch? Light thingies?
Buck average,
And we need how many?
20.
$20. So $120 for the curtains. To get my windows covered, $220. Total for the backsplash, $250. Okay, so the carpet for the stairs.
$650.
Holy crap, we need to save up for that.
The second part of their challenge is for Karyn to accept responsibility and actually do some repairs herself. And I've sent her some help.
I understand you've got a lot to do in this house.
We do. Our list is huge.
Contractor Nikki is here to show Karyn that home maintenance is not a gender-specific job.
You got no drapes on the wall. How does that work?
They are here. I always just said it was a boy's job to get those up.
It's not a boy's job. Have you ever used a drill?
Oh God, no.
Okay, so drill basics.
She made me feel really comfortable.
Just hold on.
And I kind of lost my nervousness because I was scared. I was so scared about that challenge.
Apply pressure.
Ooh, ooh.
Yay!
I always thought it was a boy's job. It's tools, it has to do with fixing stuff. So honestly, it was an excuse.
The idea about painting is to look where you're going, not where you've been. And
So it's just-
fan it out so you don't...
It's just nice to know when I come home, nothing is all on my shoulders.
We're in a hardware store because you finally learned how to use the drill. Look at you laughing. What a happy guy you are.
I am.
2 weeks ago, you were not a happy man.
I was not.
And so, did you get a lot accomplished this week?
Yes.
Tell me what you accomplished.
Since Nikki left,
Yes?
I have painted the whole way around the front entrance. And then I've also put all the switch plates on. And what did I finish last night?
The blinds.
You put the blinds up?
Yes.
You put the blinds up?
She put the blinds up.
And how proud are you?
It was amazing. And I can accomplish.
Anything you set your mind to. Okay, so you want to know what the next challenge is?
We would love to.
You've lumped a lot of debt into the house. I need you to make a commitment to make a principal prepayment against the mortgage. She has to figure out, on top of what she's bringing in, to pay back what you consolidated to the house, to get rid of that mortgage faster. Coming up, a glimpse of the future.
And the smell.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
4 years ago, Karyn and Mark bought a bigger house for their growing family. The minute you moved into this place, you started renovating. They spent buckets of money they didn't have, including $40,000 to build a kitchen for Karyn's catering business.
No problem. I'll pay for it later.
But the business is a long way from paying for itself, and they've consolidated to their mortgage for a second time.
It's a continuous cycle of nothingness.
While Mark works 7 days a week to keep up with the bills, the spending hasn't stopped. If you keep it up in 5 years, you'll owe $734,000. And you won't have anything saved for retirement. You will be old and poor.
Oh my God. I don't want us to be old and poor.
To help them stay motivated to recover the equity in their home, I sent them out to look at living spaces they could afford after retirement.
Oh, no hydro.
Really small. I was quite shocked at some housing that we might have to live in when we retire.
Now, does that look right at the train tracks? Not being able to live in the home that we really love. When we retire, I think that would hurt so bad. Oh my gosh. God, is that blood on the floor?
Maybe.
Especially for Mark, because he's worked his butt off. This looks a bit like our first home. Could still never live here.
No. We wouldn't be able to live in any of these places that we looked at today. I'm glad Gail sent us to these places to look at. Makes you want to save some money, huh?
Determined to pay their house off before retirement, Karyn and Mark looked at making an annual prepayment of $10,000 against their mortgage.
So let's see how much interest we'd pay over the whole 25 years, right?
Yep.
Would be $140,000. Extra payments, putting 10 grand on every year. Let's see what happened.
Wow.
So the interest goes from 140 grand to 65.
Wow.
Holy crap.
It's worth doing.
I've applied for 9 jobs outside of my catering. After some of the stuff we've seen, and after calculating the savings on our mortgage that we can accomplish, it's like, oh my God, I'm there.
Pretty crappy places to live in you had to look at.
It was disheartening. It was disturbing.
The challenge also had the how fast can you get your house paid off part. Coming up with $10,000 a year extra. How fast would you have your house paid off?
12 years.
12 and a half years.
12 and a half years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how are you going to come up with the money? Ma'am?
I've applied, last week I applied for 8 jobs, and yesterday I applied for 6 more. Everything from housekeeping at our hospital system
Right.
to reception.
You're going to do whatever it takes.
Whatever
it takes, yeah.
Whatever it takes.
You have a goal now.
Yeah.
Big goal.
I was concerned we could lose the house because of the way we were going.
It's really nice to know that we'll have this house paid off in about 12 years.
When I got here, you were overspending by over $5,600 a month and heading to over $700,000 worth of debt. You have a debt repayment plan that now gets you out of debt in 2 years. You're communicating now better than when I got here. We stopped you spending on credit and finishing the projects that you have started. We evened out the responsibility, and we found a way to protect the equity in this house. So, are you happy?
Very.
Ecstatic.
I'm happy too.
Thank you.
Now it's like we're planning for the moment. We're planning for tomorrow. We're planning for the future. And it's not as hard as it's cracked up to be.
I have something else for you. A little gift certificate to help you finish up the things that you're doing around the house.
Oh my gosh.
So here you go.
you.
You're very lucky to have each other.
Yeah.
So make sure you remember that, okay?
We're focused together. And it's going to be so much easier.
3 months later, Karyn and Mark are still committed to their debt repayment plan. In addition to her part-time work, Karyn's now considering taking a full-time job, which would allow her to contribute even more to those extra mortgage payments. And the entire family has found a way to make living on the jars work for them.